Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young man named Leo. Leo was known for his bright mind and boundless curiosity. From a very young age, he dreamed of becoming a great inventor, creating machines that would change the world. He spent his days sketching designs and tinkering with tools, convinced that success was just around the corner. But life had other plans. Leo's first invention was a small wooden cart meant to carry heavy loads with ease. He worked on it for weeks, shaping the wood, attaching wheels, and polishing every detail. When the day came to test it, he loaded it with stones and pushed it forward. To his horror, the wheels snapped, and the car collapsed. The villagers who had gathered to watch shook their heads. Some laughed. Leo felt his face burn with shame. That night, he sat by the river, staring at the broken pieces of his cart. He wanted to give up. But then, an old man from the village approached him. His name was Elias, and he had once been an inventor too. He sat beside Leo and said, "Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of wisdom." Leo frowned. How could failure be good? Elias smiled and told Leo a story of his own youth. He had tried to build a windmill to grind grain for the village. His first attempt was a disaster. The blades didn't turn, the structure wobbled, and the villagers mocked him. But instead of quitting, he studied his mistakes. He realized the wood he used was too weak. He saw that the blades needed to be shaped differently. His second attempt was better, but still not perfect. It took him 5 failures before the windmill finally worked. And when it did, it changed the village forever. Leo listened carefully. For the first time, he understood that failure was not something to fear. It was a teacher, a strict but fair one. The next morning, he returned to his broken cart. Instead of throwing it away, he examined every piece. He saw where the wood had been too thin, where the joints had been weak. He spent days making adjustments, testing smaller versions, and learning from each mistake. Months later, Leo unveiled his new cart. This time, the wheels were stronger, the design simpler, and the balance perfect. The villagers watched as he loaded it with heavy rocks and pushed it effortlessly. No laughter came this time, only applause. Leo had not just built a cart, he had learned the value of persistence. Years passed, and Leo became known as one of the greatest inventors in the land. But he never forgot his early failures. Whenever a young inventor came to him, discouraged by their mistakes, he would say the same words Elias once told him: "Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of wisdom." The truth is, every great person in history has faced failure. Thomas Edison, who created the light bulb, failed thousands of times before succeeding. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was rejected by 12 publishers before one took a chance on her book. Even the ancient philosophers knew this. Seneca, the great Roman thinker, wrote that obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones. Why is failure such a good teacher? First, it shows us what doesn't work. When we fail, we are forced to look closely at our mistakes. Did we rush? Were we unprepared? Did we ignore advice? These questions help us grow. Second, failure builds resilience. Each time we fall and rise again, we become stronger. Fear of failure often holds people back, but those who embrace it find courage they never knew they had. Think of a child learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they cry, but they never give up. Slowly, they learn balance, strength, and coordination. If a child refused to walk after the first fall, they would never run. Life is the same. Every failure is a lesson, every mistake a clue. Some people avoid failure by never taking risks. They choose safe paths, never daring to dream big. But in doing so, they miss the greatest rewards. The man who never fails is the man who never truly tries. So the next time you fail, Whether in work, in love, or in any endeavor, do not despair. Ask yourself, what did I learn? How can I improve? Remember Leo and his cart. Remember Edison. Light bulb. Remember that every great success is built on a mountain of failures. Failure is not your enemy. It is your best teacher. And if you listen carefully, it will guide you further than you ever imagined.